And the Duke Blue Devils go down to Georgia Tech on the road. Back-to-back road losses for the Blue Devils this year. They lost the game 72-68. It was close all the way down to the wire, but it just seemed that Duke could not make that big basket when they needed it, and they also could not get that big stop when they needed it. They had multiple chances in this game to make a run and close that gap. They were very close to closing the gap multiple times, but again, just couldn't get the big stop or hit the big shot in the game. Jeremy Roach again was outstanding for the Blue Devils. 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. 8 rebounds as a small guard is awesome stuff. Flip, again, 12 points, 9 boards, 5 assists. Caleb Foster, 12 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Mark Mitchell, 11 points, 4 rebounds. Need more boards out of him. Jared McCain, 6 points, 3 rebounds, underperforming. Ryan Young, 2 points, 3 rebounds. Not enough for our other center, our other post player. TJ Power at 3 points, 2 rebounds in very limited time. And then Sean Stewart, 0 points, 0 rebounds, again on very limited time. Some of the key points of this game was Tyrese Proctor went down with an injury in the first minute and 45 seconds of the game. He is a huge part of our offense. He's one of our best perimeter defensive players. He's the guy who really controls the tempo of the game, is a great facilitator, is an extremely crucial piece, and was absolutely missed. But we're talking about a 3-2 Georgia Tech team. Duke has 5 stars sitting on the bench. We had more than enough firepower to go out and win this game. So the fact Duke did not win this game is a really bad look. Some of the things that are just a huge problem for this team that's become apparent over these first 8-9 games is, for one, Tyrese Proctor absolutely has to become more aggressive. I talked about this in the last video a bit. He absolutely has to become more aggressive, more dominant, get into the paint, use that pull up, get into the paint, dish it out. He's being too passive and just too much of a facilitator. But he was out this whole game, so let's talk about some of the other points. One of the biggest points to me is Duke absolutely failed in the portal this year. To not go out and secure a rim protector, defensive rebounding, just big body paint presence, that Derek Lively, Mark Mitchell kind of presence was a huge mess up for the Blue Devils. We absolutely needed another good defensive big man. Flip is obviously a center, but he's so versatile. He could be out at the 3. He could be anywhere, really. And we need that defensive and a nice offensive presence wouldn't hurt either. I mean, Ryan Young, love Ryan Young and what he brings, but he's just not the caliber of post player that this team needs if they're going to make a deep run. And teams have figured this out. When Flip gets the ball, they double, triple on him, just completely collapse the defense. Mark Mitchell's lack of shooting ability is also killing us because they leave him wide open at the 3, and then they collapse on Flip. And then by the time Mark gets the ball and drives in, they just get right back on him. So the lack of shooting from Mark Mitchell and then not having another post player that really can come in and do work is a huge issue for this team. Not only when Flip gets in foul trouble, but just for the shot blocking, the rebounds, the presence is a huge factor in this game. I can't believe Duke did not secure any of these big men out of the portal. Ryan Young's just not there. Christian Reeves is not there yet. I would like to see him get more minutes, honestly, because at this point, Ryan Young showed that he's not the dude. So why not give Reeves some more minutes? Also, we're just not getting enough out of our guards. We got 4 or 5 guards when you talk about Tyrese Proctor, Jeremy Roach, Caleb Foster, Jared McCain, and Jalen Blakes. That is 5 really good guards right there, and we're not getting enough production out of them. Jared McCain and Caleb Foster, as these 5-star, highly touted freshmen coming in, are not giving us enough. They just have not been consistent. There's a lot of 3-pointers being shot. I've not seen a ton of aggressive to the rim. Foster does a pretty decent job of being aggressive to the rim, but again, it seems like he can really be swayed by his early performance in the game. If he comes in and does well off the start, he performs excellent and is great. But if he comes in and is a bit cold, he starts to disappear. He becomes less aggressive. Missed a bunch of shots at the rim. Everybody did against Arkansas that should have been made. TJ Power absolutely needs more minutes. He is a 3-point threat, and he's the same size as Mark Mitchell, not quite as athletic, but I think Power, Sean Stewart need to get more minutes. These are two guys who are 6'9". Power can really shoot it. Sean Stewart can guard 1 through 5, extremely athletic, super bouncy, great rebounder, shot blocker, can run the floor extremely well. I'd really like to see him get more minutes. I love Mark Mitchell, I really do, but his lack of jump shot is really killing us. And if you look at the numbers, with the amount of minutes Sean Stewart's had, his production has honestly matched or even been better than what Mark Mitchell's brought to the table. So, again, another slow start for Duke. I think we got down 12-2 to start the game after Tyrese got hurt. You know, we battled back and got it close. But again, another slow start. And then to begin the second half, Georgia Tech came out and got hot and went on a little spree. And that was another... We haven't come out of the game hot, and we haven't come out the second half hot very much this season. And the last thing you want to do is give a team that doesn't think they're as good as you that momentum and that confidence and that belief. And that's exactly what we did by letting them come out in the first half and then letting them come out in the second half and running it up on us like that. There at the end of the game, Mark Mitchell did step up big time, had 2 huge dunks, really just flexing his muscle, getting aggressive. You know, that's the kind of aggression we need out of him, out of Flip, out of everybody on the team from the jump. We can't wait till the very end to start, you know, really getting aggressive. But 2 huge dunks down the stretch. And on the second one, he pointed at the player and got teed up for taunting. I'm not a huge fan of this call. I get it. It is the rule. He should know better. He shouldn't have done it. But we're trying to take the emotion out of the game. These are 19, 20, 21-year-old kids playing in front of thousands and even millions of people on TV and online. He didn't, like, stand over the guy. He didn't push him. He gave him a little point as he was going back. This is a huge moment in a very close game. I think the refs got to let that go. You hate to see a game be decided on something like that. And that was a very big part of us not winning that game down there at the end. But again, the rule is the rule. Mark knows the rule. We got to do better. We got to be smarter. But yeah, I think we need to mix these lineups up. We have these 4 or 5 guards that we're not quite getting the production out of. Jeremy Roach has been fantastic because he's the senior. He's played in the big moments. And he's driving. He's getting into the paint. He's getting to the rim. He's not just settling for threes. Also, 8 rebounds. That's just wanting it. That is wanting it. We've seen McCain has a couple games where he had 10 rebounds. But then last game, 3 rebounds. Ryan Young, our 6'10" center, 3 rebounds. Caleb Foster, 1 rebound. Mark Mitchell, 6'9", our 4 player, 4 rebounds. So we need to get more aggressive, just straight up. We need to get more aggressive hitting these boards. But again, to recap, the lack of not having another center is really killing us. Our guard play is lacking right now. Mark Mitchell not being able to shoot. And we need to change it up. I think the full court press has worked very well for us every time we've pulled it out. And with our depth at guards, maybe that's something we consider doing going forward. Maybe we're one of those teams who just hounds you from the jump all game, makes you bring the ball up the court, presses at times. I think that could go a long way for us. Overall, I'm still not super worried about this team. I'm definitely slightly concerned, but it's very early in the season. We're still figuring out roles. I think McCain and Caleb Foster are going to figure it out. I think Shire's going to start figuring out who are the guys who are really going to mesh well. Sean Stewart and TJ Power got to get more minutes. You know, the one thing is we can't just stay stubborn on this starting 5 just because that's what we came out the gate with. It's okay to mix it up, change it up, let different people in the starting 5. But again, Power and Foster got to get more minutes, and we just got to get more production out of Tyrese, Jared McCain, and Caleb Foster on a consistent basis. If you look at Kentucky's guards, they were the number 1 class. We are the number 2. Their guards are vastly outperforming Duke's guards right now. It's a serious issue, but again, I think we'll be okay down the road. Shire's going to figure it out. Our players are going to figure it out. Sometimes these losses early in the season can be really good for you and pay dividends down the road. So not freaking out quite yet, but definitely seeing some holes in this team that need to be addressed. And man, I think Cooper Flagg coming in next year is going to be huge for us. If Flip, some reason, decides to stay one more year, my God, that would be a crazy front court right there, and I would love to see it. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching the video. My name's Will. You're watching Will's World, where I just bring you into my world and talk about different things I love, like Duke basketball, music, hip-hop, UFC, and just different life issues, telling stories from my life, all sorts of different things. So appreciate you guys watching. If you don't mind, hit that like, drop a comment, let me know how you feel about the game, about this Duke team. Hit that subscribe, and appreciate you guys. See you on the next one.